Damp and mould are among some of the most common problems you'll deal with as a landlord, and getting your response right matters more than ever. In this video, we'll explain the difference between damp, mould and condensation, who's responsible for what, your legal duties and the steps you should take when a problem is reported. Get this right and you'll protect your tenants, your property and yourself. First, know what you're dealing with because the cause shapes the fix. Condensation is water that forms when moist air meets a cold surface, like a window or an external wall. A little is normal, but left unchecked it can lead to damp and mould. Damp is excess moisture in the fabric of the building, usually from a defect, such as a damaged roof, faulty guttering, or a failed damp-proof course. And mould is the fungal growth that appears when damp or condensation is left untreated. Remember, mould is a recognised health hazard, so never ignore it. So, who's responsible? In almost all cases where the cause relates to the property itself, that's you, the landlord. If damp and mould comes from rising or penetrating water, or a structural defect, or poor insulation, ventilation, or heating, it's your job to fix it. Condensation is a little more nuanced. Where your property is properly ventilated, has the ability to be adequately heated, and is properly insulated, managing everyday moisture becomes a shared responsibility, and your tenants should ventilate the rooms, avoid drying clothes indoors without ventilation, and wipe away condensation when it appears. Be clear on one thing though, government guidance says that you should never simply blame the tenant's lifestyle. Always investigate the underlying cause first. Think of prevention as a partnership. You provide a sound, well-ventilated, well-insulated home, and your tenant uses it sensibly and reports issues early. Several laws place clear duties on you. Under Section 11 of the Landlord and Tenant Act 1985, you must keep the structure and exterior in repair. Under the Homes Fitness for Human Habitation Act 2018, your property must be fit to live in throughout the tenancy. And a tenant can take you to court directly if it isn't. And because damp and mould are recognised hazards under the Housing Health and Safety Rating System, HHSRS, your local authority can inspect and serve notices. Keep an eye on what's coming up too. AWAB's law is already in force in the social housing sector. This will bring strict, legally binding timeframes to the private rented sector, although the exact dates are still to be confirmed. And the Decent Home Standard is also being extended to the sector through the Renters' Rights Act. The stakes are real. Civil penalties can reach £40,000 for serious or repeat breaches, with criminal prosecution available in the worst cases. So treat every report seriously. When a tenant reports a problem, follow a clear, documented process. Ask your tenant to put it in writing so that there's a clear record. Acknowledge it promptly, confirm your next steps, and tell them what to expect. Then inspect without unreasonable delay and investigate the cause, bringing in specialist surveys if the case is complex or recurring. Document everything, photograph the affected areas, and keep your communications because that evidence is invaluable if there is ever a dispute. Always fix the underlying cause first, whether that's a structural repair, better ventilation, or improved insulation, and then deal with the visible damage. Give your tenant clear guidance to stop it returning and re-inspect once the work is done. The best approach is to prevent problems in the first place because prevention is far cheaper and less stressful than a cure. Make sure your property is well ventilated with extractor fans vented outside and trickle vents kept clear. You should provide the means to keep the property adequately heated and well insulated to stop cold surfaces forming. Educate your tenants on the simple habits that help. Inspect high-risk areas every 6 to 12 months and make it easy for the tenants to report issues early. And remember, you don't have to manage all of this alone. As an NRLA member, you get access to our expert advice line, downloadable fact sheets to share with your tenants, our damp and mould awareness e-learning course is also available, and property tools through our portfolio platform. Visit our property management hub to learn more, and together let's keep championing a responsible rental sector.